Good afternoon, YouTube, and here's your fantasy forecast for Sunday, February 28th. I'm not going to bother with reviewing of yesterday since the game starts soon, and we all know yesterday was a complete disaster. I had 300 in multiple lineups and none of them cashed. You needed more than 330 to win yesterday to get a chance at winning. It was just an insane day. So moving on to today, we have a 5-game slate for the main games, and let's get on with it. At point guard today, and for 50-50 cash, I have Lowry and Rubio. I have Lowry today because I have the money to spend up here instead of taking Dragic or Jackson. I'm projecting both of those guys around 30, but Lowry comes up in my computers at 45, which is an exact 5 times value. Since we're going for maximizing value in a cash game, hello Lowry. Toronto's a bad matchup for the point guard, but Detroit is a decent one. So I'm going to round out with Rubio, and he is the best projected point guard on the board today on my computers. Since the All-Star break, his role has completely changed the team that's showing up on my projections. I think it's just because they finally trust him. And his fantasy performance results have shown this too. So keep riding the train tonight there for a projected 36 points. All right, on to shot guard. We have DeRozan and Levine. DeRozan is one of those guys that always seems to get good fantasy performances and then is immediately forgotten when he plays Cleveland and only gets 6 points. That's an aberration, guys. 2 days before, he got 44 fantasy points against the T-Wolves. Last time he played Detroit, he got 32 fantasy points, and it's more likely he gets about 37 to 38 tonight with a few extra minutes of playing time. I love him tonight, but if you can't get on board with that, consider Dwayne Wade instead. He's been getting a lot of time too with Bosch's absence there. I just don't like the Miami slow-pace opponent. Rounding out with this position with Levine, I've gotten to the point that I don't care if Levine starts or not because he's still getting 30-plus minutes every night. He's a little bit scoring dependent when you look at his fantasy performances, but he'll still give you the 5 times value you're going to need in cash tonight, and that's what we're looking for. All right, on to small forward, we have Harris and Covington. Harris is without question the best value play in all of FanDuel tonight. When he gets 35 minutes, this has been happening since the break, the less than 6,000 price looks like a steal, because it is. Just grab him and go. Even against Toronto, like I was saying before, not good for the position, but the price is just too darn low for 25 to 35 point fantasy production. Covington, on the flip side, he's not my favorite play here tonight. He fits, and my projections gave him the best, to fit in there. And the last time he played the Magic, he only gave us 18 fantasy points. And that came, though, because there was some foul trouble that limited his minutes a bit, and, he wasn't grabbing his boards like he normally does. So I'm going to say it was an off night, and that he comes back to just like a regular 26 fantasy performance tonight. I'm thinking the Magic will be taking it easy on him a little bit, thinking, oh yeah, he didn't do too well last time, and this is the perfect time for him to come off a little bit. At least he has upside, right? All right, so on to power forward, we've got Dieng and Turner. Why has FanDuel not raised Dieng's price? I know I'm shooting myself in the foot, and he's going to be like 6,900 the next time he's out in the lineups, but I'm always going to lock my lineups around a guy that's regularly pouring out 6 times value and more, and that's exactly what Dieng is. If you just take the one game out of his stats where he burned fantasy owners, and I think that's why his price hasn't gone up. Bad things happen sometimes, but you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. So we're going to round out the position with Miles Turner. He's not a 50-point fantasy point play, but I'm projecting him for a nice steady 30. Because the rookie has always bounced back after having an off night. Go through his stats the whole season and look, guys. Every time he puts up less than 20 fantasy, the next time it's around 30. Portland just isn't a bad opponent for the power forward either, so he's kind of in a good position for that to happen. Okay, at center tonight, Drummond. He has had more than a dozen rebounds in every game this month. Anyone else notice that? And he gets to play against Valanciunas tonight. And Valanciunas doesn't care about defense at all. And this game just has the smell of Drummond running for 55 tonight, even though my computers are only projecting 43. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the optimal lineups that were projected by others. So we're going to my upcomings here. And this is the RotoWire lineup. RotoWire for today is projecting us to have Rubio and Dragic in the point guard, Wade and Fournier in the shot guard, George and Winslow at small forward, Dieng and Turner at power forward, and center is Vujicic. And moving back onto Roto Grinders, The Roto Grinders ideal lineup for today is Lowry and Rubio at the point guard, Depot and Ellis at the shot guard, Covington and Morris at small forward, Dieng and Turner at power forward, and center Drummond again. And now we're going to go to the daily Fantasy Pros ideal lineup. Fantasy Pros for today is giving us Lillard and Jackson in the point guard position, DeRozan and Wiggins in shot guard, Harris and Harkless at small forward, Noel and Davis at power forward, and center for Drummond again. Guys, I would normally have the Daily Fantasy Cafe here, but I wasn't able to pull their optimal lineup because it didn't let me separate out like normal. So once again, I'm just going to move back onto what I can say is my ideal lineup, and you can see I'm running it in a 50-50 $5 cash league. I have Lowry and Rubio at the point guard, DeRozan and Levine at shot guard, Harris and Covington at small forward, Dieng and Turner at power forward, and center is Drummond. Please follow me on Twitter at MikeMiller78 for the latest updates, injury news, any lineup changes I might be running. Go ahead and subscribe here on YouTube for notifications on new videos. I have a brand new camera. I'm recording with it right now. The format will be switching. I just had to get this out to you guys real quick, which is why it's still podcast style, but hopefully the quality looks a little bit better, and you guys will start seeing my face here very soon. Please DM me on Twitter if you have any specific questions at all about NBA or lineups or fantasy. I'm happy to talk to all of you guys. Have a great day. Go out there and go win some money, guys. Bye-bye.